Hi, hi, how are you? It has been 2 months since I last posted my video, and today is also January 2nd of 2025. And to wrap up a year of 2024, I would like to make a kind of progress video in terms of what I did throughout the year. Mostly about drawing because that's what I did. Focus for the whole 2024 apart from working full time and doing other stuff. So this is gonna be the first block that we're gonna check later on together. But for some context, I did start drawing since the end of 2022. I bought an iPad and for journaling purpose, and I found it quite interesting to draw on the iPad as well. So I starting to make a few drawing there until the point that I found I need some sort of foundation and basic skill to make more in-depth and detailed drawing as I wish. So that is the moment that I start to find more information, more course, more curriculum to follow. The story of 2023, I think I'm gonna unpack it in another day. But for today, let's just focus on 2024 progress. In 2024, I actually found Draws a Box, a very popular channel for anyone who want to start their drawing. They create quite a lot of video regarding to foundation drawing and help us to have a baby step to draw more properly. So here are the practice that I follow on Trust the Box for this year. This is not complete for their course yet. I'm right now still working on lesson 5 and suppose they gonna end their lesson around like lesson 8 I think. And for lesson 5 right now I still have 10 more pages to finish. So I think it's gonna be another half year of 2025 to finish their curriculum. So I start draw about around, let's see when, around February 4th of 2024 here. So they start their courses with very basic practice as other people or other actors also recommend the beginner drawer to start with, which is lines and also line and ellipse. So I think for this is quite, it's just a practice for us to how to go the line correctly or properly, and it's also a very nice practice I would say, just to make sure that once we draw a line we are aware of what we are drawing, not just create random lines. And they also recommend us to use the pen instead of pencil to make every line firm. So I think it's also a very great practice too now for me, because when we do with the pen we cannot erase them, so we have to be extra careful and notice before we actually draw the line. So yeah, so you can see that there's a lot of line here, so the basis is here. They also jump into a different part of pages for perspective. I think they make the perspective quite easy to understand as well, so I can get it quickly, and I think other people also found the similar finding. They practice, I found a lot of people who also do their record video. They also mentioned that Dropbox did a very great job in terms of helping us understand the basic concept of things. Here's also another perspective, but it looks so weird. I know it looks so artsy. I have to drop it here because I messed up here and I cannot finish the box correctly. So I start another one, and I also have to maybe stop here as well, right? And stop here as well. I think if I redo it now, I still make this stupid mistake. And then I tried the third time, still look very odd until I tried the fourth time. I think this one look better. Since I kind of get what it means to look into a different point of view, like it got how it would look like when we look from this angle, and the shape, how the shape would look like. And then here we go with the 250 boxes challenge. They're kind of famous challenge from the course. So for the 250, I remember that they divide into 50, 50, and another 150. For the first 50 bucks, they recommend us to kind of pinpoint the dots on the paper so that we can make a proper line to create a box in different angle. For this, I think they highly recommend us to show the to draw the tree line first and then to show the direction so that we can draw the box according to the direction. And then when it's coming to the last 150 box, they request us to draw the box like this without any kind of point or line so that we can just imagine within our head and use our hand to draw the imagination line to create the box later. I think this is quite great practice. Even though I did make some mistake, I still make a lot of mistake in terms of drawing the box. You can see this one is very odd. This one is the biggest one, but it's very odd in terms of the perspective. Right? It doesn't look like a box at all. So there's still a lot of mistake that I make, but the drawing the 250 boxes actually give me more confidence to draw more box later and more object later in the upcoming months. Then here's the 248, 249, and then 250. So at the end of the day, the box still look very weird, in my opinion. But still, I finished the challenge. I think I'm gonna go back to drawing more box later then. So here come the first texture exercise that I did. At first, we can start with the paper, the texture on the scrum paper. But I would say it was so difficult. It was so difficult for me to describe the texture of the scrum paper. You can see it doesn't look like a scrum paper at all, right? It looks so weird. And I had a lot of hard time just to work on the texture. But then I think when we start, one of the finding that I found is like when we start anything new, it's very stressful and it seems to be very difficult. So I kind of left this paper aside and I start with another paper. So it's still I didn't start with the paper anymore. I start with different object. I think this one I'm trying to recreate some soil or maybe other texture that I don't remember. But this should be for the tree, and you can see that it doesn't look like any kind of the tree body at all, right? And I don't even know what is this I'm trying to analyze. And then at the end of the day, still it doesn't look like a tree body at all. Yeah. So I tried a different texture from a different type of tree, I think. Then the first time I try, you can see that the line is not so straight. I'm just not so smooth. I mean, the line was not so smooth. It was cracking here and there. And then at this point, I realized, oh, if I want to make a texture look like a texture, my line should be smooth. So that is when I moved to this and I tried to make smoother line. And I think it's described more clearly that this is the wood, the tree in the jungle or in the forest. It's just my thinking. It doesn't look like it at all. Yeah. So and then we jump to different practice. I think this one still look very not on point, but somehow I managed to make it look from a forest to something that we can look into. But if we zoom into it, I think this one look like a cucumber. Yeah, like cucumber. And I tried to make this look like salmon, but I think I failed. Strawberry, but I think I'm still fail. this one trying to make it look a tomato, but it doesn't look like it at all. And the pineapple very foul. So a lot of texture that I'm trying to recreate over here look very weird. Yeah, look very weird. Even for the wood that I confident in the last piece, last practice, but here look what I create. Doesn't look like wood at all. And here I trying to recreate some of the things that I did not make it. For example, I make another pineapple here, but now right now when I look back, still it doesn't look like a pineapple at all. Yep. And then I'm trying to make it look like a chicken skin, but for sure I fell. Then when we come to the second pages of the texture challenge, I think for this, I still don't know. Yeah, what do you guys think? Does it look like anything? It's look like, I think it's more clear in terms of 2D side, but it did not appear. It did not appear as the 3D texture at all. But for example, this one I think is look like stone. This look like mushroom, some type of mushroom. Yep, they say it's another type of mushroom. And this is also the mushroom. It's look great from this point, I think. I'm trying to recreate the hair, but I definitely fell. It doesn't look like hair. For this, what is this? Ah, bitter melon. And this should be some skin. So here I noticed the crocodile skin. And here is like octopus. But do you guys think it's like octopus? No. Oh my god. Yep. So if we look from afar, it look beautiful. But if we look closer, not so sure. I think I make this because I was having procrastination. Yep, the procrastination to draw, to practice my drawing. So I just trying to go back with the foundation, with the boxes, to have myself feel more motivated to start with something new. So here come some of the practice regarding to leaf. Then starting with the leaf, the plant lesson. This is very odd here, like the texture is not consistent. I did one here and I realized it's too messy, and then I did another one here and I realized was not on point, so I did another one here. So even in within a leaf, I'm trying to do different texture to see which one is the most the best suits for the leaf. However, it's create, generally speaking, it does not create the leaf to be a leaf at all. And I'm also trying to create the texture here, but it does not show much. And here is also another leaf, and this one as well. I'm trying very hard, you guys can see, but it doesn't look very close to the real one. And then for this one, I think I'm trying to, but I was so lazy that I didn't even bother to make the texture. I just draw the shape, which is not good, honestly. And then here come another practice, like another challenge regarding to plant in general. The flower, and also the flower. I give this to one of my friend who also graduated from an art university, and she told me that I was trying hard to make the line. However, I have to take notice where of the object that need more line to describe their feature or their nature, rather than giving a lot of lines and it looked like there's a lot of line over here, but it could not describe well the object. And I think it's a very great feedback. I'm still struggling to actually make it correct to what the my friend told me. Yeah. And here's another flower. One of the key learning point that I figure out is if I'm not rushing myself to create one, then and give myself time to do it, then I think I'm still able to do it. But with the time pressure, I would be not so confident to create. Now we have another one. For this one, my friend told me that I trying to create quite detailed texture over here, but generally speaking, the other part of the mushroom was not described so good. So yeah, I make it so detailed in terms of the texturing. Then I should do it here and here as well, so that the whole mushroom are consistent. Another mushroom that I tried to do, but I fell. There's a lot of part in this mushroom need to be paid attention to. Yep. So, but I'm still quite how to say, I'm still happy with this and the one here, because I was able to draw the texture that I want in a very detailed way. Generally speaking, it's not a good pick at all, but the detail of it make me feel confident, me feel more confident. Then I move to the next practice is about insect. You can see the first three of them are very disconnected. They are not well described, well drawn. I would say only until this part of the insect that I was able to figure out that I should focus each of the part separately, and also the connecting part among different part of that of the object that I'm trying to work on. For example, when I do the head, I also take notice of the eye and make sure that it's connected to the head, not just separately, just head and eyes. And then I'm starting to do this one with more lined, and this one. So here you can see that I do it more in terms of the shape, and there's a connecting line over here to another shape, and then there's another connecting line over here for another shape. So once I found out that, I feel like my drawing has more connection part by part of that object. And then here comes some other ones, but I think back to the previous learning point, it's very obvious that the more time I invest on them, it's look more close to the one that I'm taking reference from. But here I'm still making quite a lot of mistake. For example, the proportion of the leg is not equally aligned. It does not mean that each of the legs should be the same, but the proportion and the size comparing to each other is very odd. And also this one, I did it not so close with the reference as well. This one, I thought it's an easy one to make until I make it, and I found it so weird. Like you can see the result is so weird. And I try very hard to do this one, and this one as well. I try to describe them. Does it look like one? I think yeah, it a little bit, but still a lot of room to improve. Spend more time, I think, for this one. How long? 2 hour, 2 hour and a half, and then another more than 1 hour. So let's say 3 hour for this one only. It looks nice, I think. It look decent. I think from afar we can see the curve. It look from my personal judgment, it's look like it have a 3D shape there, but I still have a lot of room to improve the time spent on making one. And this one is around 45 minutes, but I think because the simple object, like a quite simple one, so that's why I take last time. And also I didn't do the texture. And yeah, here's another two of them. I only trying to describe them instead of doing the texture. So yeah, and then we do another intersection practice to get ready to another type of animal. And then we have bird. We have bird, but it is it's not good for the first three practice. I still trying to get what kind of the part of the animal and how do I describe them. So the first three of the bird is very, not so decent, and then the two of them is also bad. Then I try more carefully. I try to look more carefully on the bird, and I'm trying to improve. And I think in this page I improve a bit better. I give it more shape. I show it more aligned. And for this one, I think I describe a bit clear, so without texture. And here we come to the nightmare. The cat. Look. It is ugly. I know it is ugly. And also the eye. I was not able to control the eye. So for the cat, they look very naive and very cute with the eye, right? But if you look into my cat eye, you're gonna get nightmare for sure. This one, for example, this one. This one, the eye looks scary. Looks scary. Should I put a sticker on so that you guys don't have nightmare? And then this one, I think is look better, but still not that good. So that a general part of what I did over 1 year for draws a box, like nearly 1 year for draws a box. Yep. So putting draws a box aside, I also practice on my iPad, and I have another sketchbook to work on as well. But for this first sketchbook, I was trying to draw very randomly. I think I start drawing on sketchbook around October, so you can see that I draw very random thing just to warm up my finger, and it looks so weird. Oh my god, I'm so careless. Yeah, I'm trying to put here and there, put a lot of things in here, so this sketchbook doesn't really have any concrete thing, just a simple practice that I did before I start my lesson on draws a box. Yep, I'm trying to recreate some of the thing in my room in my phone picture. So yeah, I'm still trying to manage to work on it. And now let's go through the other part of the iPad. Here's what I did for 2024. Sometimes I draw from imagination, and this is one part of my imagination look like. I'm just trying to draw from whatever things that I can draw, but it's repetitive somehow, and I still think, yeah, there's a lot of room for me to work on the foundation so that I can draw more picture that I would like to. And then I'm trying to draw this. There's a theme that I doing back then is to draw the broken thing. So I draw a broken glass, a broken bowl, a light bulb, and a picture. These sketch I do, and then I did not color it because I'm still not so confident to make a very great coloring. It's just a cup. Another thing in my room. something that I imagine. This flower I also imagine from real flower. Then this moment I read quite a lot of manga and comics like manhwa as well, and I just draw one just to see how do I draw. This is also apart from my imagination. And then I feel like I do quite detail on the leaf, but on the flower I did not do it so beautifully. So I trying to redraw them, but I can do two, and then I found out I cannot recreate one. Some is one of the rare drawing in 2024 that I actually draw and pen them. It does have some meaning based on my personal experience, but I think it's still like a lot of good drawing to describe or show more of the meaning that I put behind. For example, for this area, I intentionally put it's quite wide in terms of the space so that I can draw more and give more meaning for that. But I actually have no clue how to draw what I think in my head. So, yeah, still need a lot of foundation to improve on my drawing. This is just some drawing that I look at things around me and then I draw them. Similar for this one. Similar for this one. I have a reference. I go to the coffee shop and that places they have an area with the plant and the stuff over there, so I take a picture of it and I draw. And here's the color version of it. Still, there's a lot of to improve, I know. And then here come a few sketch. What does it look like? Also this. I will try to put the reference next to it so that you can see what I did over the year. For this sketch, I think I only start around November. Like this kind of the sketch that I trying to make around November with the pen and paper. I went to a coffee shop and they have a tree and a few farming area in front, so I trying to replicate the farming area, but it was not so good. I'm honestly don't think this is a good picture, and also I was so careless in terms of draw them. So yeah, I think I would try to come back to the coffee shop and do a more careful sketch on that. This is also from one of the corner in that coffee shop as well, but it was this is the first attempt that I trying to draw that corner, but there's a lot of mistake. First of all, the size of the chair is not on point comparing to the picture. So for the things that I draw, the proportion and the composition of everything and also the perspective is not realistic. You can see the art thing over here, like this one and this one, they're not aligned as well, and are not aligned with this one as well. So yeah, a lot to improve. So I was trying to recreate ones over here with more detail and to look it more close to the original picture, but still the chair height was not at the same proportion of the original picture. And also here, this table and the line was not so in the same perspective, which is not correct, but it was because I would create in this way, and then I try to update it in this So if it would be worse if I still keep it this side. But I think it's a very it's a good attempt from my end to trying to recreate the corner. I think a good part of it, I trying to create the detail, trying to have some line to describe the material and the texture of the things. There's still a lot of part to work on, but I think to up to this point around, and this was made in December 2024. I think this was a good one. And then I do have some picture in my phone, and I start to recreate them in the smaller size to see everything. Yep, yep. And that's it. That's it for 2024. Just some note for the new year, like 2025. I was thinking to, I was thinking what to do, because I feel like when drawing, I have quite a lot of good energy and focus and concentration. So I seriously think, should I enroll into courses? Apparently, I also found a few people on the internet who are good at the job in my country. Um, the only thing that I'm currently concerned is, is that they teach on digital tool like Photoshop, and also on a tablet, on a drawing tablet. So after a years of drawing, I feel like what I draw on the iPad actually just similar to what I did with pen and paper. The difference is that I have more ability to erase the things that I don't like in my previous sketch and redo them to make it perfect, which is not the same case with pen and paper. Apart from that, I did not use any kind of advanced tool from Procreate to draw faster. I'm quite questioning myself right now that is it a good investment to uh, study more of digital art, or should I stick with the traditional method, pen and paper? Um, I know it's still very early to say which one is better for me, because I'm still in the phase of exploration, um, and trying to see what work, what doesn't. And after 1 year of teaching myself from different source of information, I think I'm lacking up a teacher, a mentor who can help me to fix on my mistake and help me to improve from what I'm currently having. If for 2025 to I still continue to study by myself, I think I would be just going within a loop and could not recognize the mistake that I'm making over and over again. So that is the dilemma that I'm currently having right now, is whether to invest on the digital tool, including something like Photoshop, maybe Clip Studio Pen, or a, and a drawing tablet, or just go with the traditional course to see where can I go. I already graduated from a business university already a few years ago, so I'm not really think of enrolling myself into another university for drawing at the moment. But I think it's necessary for me to enroll in some courses so that I have a teacher, I have a mentor, I have the community, so that I'm feel I feel like there's a lot of people are also in the same path as me, and they are growing. So I have the competition to grow as well, and I also have the correct advice. So yeah, sharing over here just to see if you are also an artist who have more exposure into drawing. Then if you happen to listen until the this part of the video, then I would be very much appreciated to hear more of your advice. And that would be it for today. I hope in the upcoming time I can have more progress to share with you guys over this YouTube channel. Thank you for watching and see you soon.